Pops, we have seen an unfortunate trend over the past couple of years, and that is distributors. And we're going to really call out one in particular, Southeast Toyota Distributors. They are adding forced add-ons onto vehicles at the port when they are delivered here in the United States. And this is a huge issue, one that you and I have been talking about for a couple years now. We've seen actually some posts online where people have been complaining up to a decade ago. Southeast Toyota Distributors, they're adding forced products, forced add-ons to vehicles at the port that are non-negotiable for customers. This is adding thousands of dollars onto new Toyotas. And we recently called out Toyota and Honda and Subaru because they've stopped producing many of their entry-level trim options. This is simply raising the price even more of entry-level Toyotas because distributors, JM&A and Southeast Toyota Distributors, they're getting greedy, Dad. What's going on here?
Well, they figured out a way that they can add additional products to vehicles, and usually it's with an agreement with the dealer body that these are the items that are going to be port installed. So it gives a little more profit margin to the dealer as well as Southeast Toyota Distributors.
You need to do us a favor here, Pops. Please, can you explain what a distributor is and how they work with Toyota and how they work with John Doe Toyota of Tampa?
Well, for Toyota, there are two distributors in the United States above and beyond Toyota Motor Corporation. Toyota Motor Corporation distributes the vehicles to probably 85% of all their dealer body. There are two distributors that distribute the vehicles to the rest of the dealer body. One is Southeast Toyota Distributors out of Florida that distributes to Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, I believe South Carolina. And the other is Gulf States Toyota out of Texas that distributes to the Gulf States, which would be, I guess, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana. I'm not sure all the states that they distribute to, but they have the ability as distributors for Toyota to do port installed accessories that they're charging the dealer for, not Toyota. And so it's an extra profit margin for the distributor, and they build in extra profit for the dealer for having agreed to do these port installed accessories.
CarEdge.com, all sorts of free resources back there, Dad. Like what?
Oh, I don't know. What's your car going to depreciate over time? How much is your insurance going to be? What should you expect to pay for fuel? It's all there. All that information in one place.
And to be very clear, the distributor is exactly what it sounds like. They receive vehicles from the OEM and then they distribute it to John Doe, Toyota of Fort Lauderdale, Jane Doe Toyota of Galveston. So these are intermediary businesses that have been in place for decades, Dad, because they were originally set up to help get Toyota's market share in the United States. And now what we've seen after the car shortage, during the car shortage and after the car shortage, is that they're padding these vehicles with port installed accessories that show up on the Monroney label, Dad. They show up on the window sticker of these vehicles as options, as add-ons that were there. But Toyota didn't put them on the vehicle. The distributor did. And this is where things get really interesting, Dad. You have essentially two middlemen. If you're a customer and you just want to buy a Toyota Corolla hatchback, like we have an example here from a 2021 Corolla hatchback. You can't just go to Toyota and buy it from the MSRP. We all know that you have to go to the dealer. The dealer is going to add their dock fee, their processing fee. Imagine you're in Florida. We've now seen dock fees and processing fees up to $1,200 in Florida. So not only do you have to go through one middleman, which is the dealer, you also have to go through a second middleman, which in this case added $2,270 of port installed add-ons that you cannot negotiate off. Like, Toyota, wake up. This is broken. This is terrible.
Well, as you can see, those total installed packages and accessories become part of the total MSRP. So now you get to negotiate off of the total MSRP, but obviously it's padded by an extra $2,270 of stuff you might not have wanted, and it's not dealer installed, so you can't ask the dealer to take it off. It was port installed. And one of the reasons a lot of things are port installed is oftentimes it's less expensive ultimately to the consumer than if it was a dealer installed item. But these are more forced on consumers than anything. So for some Toyota customers, they're going to pay a premium because they're going to have to buy items that other Toyota customers elsewhere in the United States aren't going to find on the window sticker.
And then the more you peel back the onion, Dad, the more interesting it becomes. Southeast Toyota Distributors is actually owned by the same company that runs JM&A, Jim Moran and Associates, and JM&A is one of the largest F&I product suppliers in the United States. They supply dealerships with extended warranties and gap insurance and tire and wheel protection and things like that. So you have an entity here that marks up those types of products and sells them to dealerships, that then also controls the distribution of the most popular brand in the United States some years. Toyota outsold GM last year. That's not a good look for Toyota, and it's not a good setup for consumers. We end up having to eat these costs, and we see it day in and day out. Southeast Toyota Distributors and Gulf States Toyota Distributors, they just make millions of dollars because they have this legacy relationship, and no one really understands that. No one really knows that, and it's important that we shine a light on it and how messed up it is.
Well, and it's not going to change. And really for JM&A, it's a wonderful thing because they make millions distributing the vehicles, and then they're probably the F&I product distributor of choice at many, many, many Toyota dealerships for finance and insurance products. Not only are they making money when they distribute the vehicle to the Toyota dealership, but they're making money when the Toyota dealership uses their products to sell to their customers in the finance office. When you think about it, it was a brilliant arrangement that was extremely beneficial for the Moran family, and maybe not so beneficial for the general public and consumers out there.